This is the anatomy of a shadow, 4 floors of an invisible system. You watch how the machine breathes, and you ask yourself what gets left behind. You have been awake since 4:47 a.m., and the man across the subway platform still has not looked at you once. That is how you know he is watching. You have 1 paper coffee cup, 1 coiled earpiece wire, 2 backup phones, and no authority to make a mistake. This is the bottom of the intelligence system. In the next few minutes, you are going to climb from the people who follow targets to the people who decide which strangers get followed, broken, recruited, or erased. Every higher floor looks cleaner. Every higher floor costs more. You step onto the subway platform at 5:12 a.m. with a paper coffee cup warming one hand and a burner phone pressing against your ribs. Your baseball cap stays low because faces are evidence at this hour. The coiled earpiece wire scratches your collar while the safe house stairwell report still rings in your head. Your first promotion is not power. It is being trusted to stand close enough to ruin someone else's day. Your job is simple enough to sound small. Watch, move, vanish. You follow the target from the airport curb to parking garage level B2 and back to the midday handoff window without ever shortening the distance too fast. Your rearview mirror gives you one clean look. The metro card is already low, and you still need 90 seconds to switch trains before the platform camera catches the same jacket twice. Your meal reimbursement buys stale eggs and bad coffee because a surveillance detection route does not pause for breakfast. Dead drop texts never use names. Safe house notes never use verbs. You carry 2 backup phones, a $200 petty cash envelope, and a face so ordinary it has to survive 12 straight hours. That 11-second look matters more than instinct. Your reflection in the subway platform tells you whether the tail behind the tail is real. The airport curb stop lasts 40 seconds. The parking garage exchange lasts 11. Your safe house stairwell smells like bleach and radiator dust. Your surveillance detection route loops through the same coffee stand, the same kiosk, the same tired commuters, but you cannot loop in the same rhythm. The dead drop is not glamorous. It is a gum package under cold metal where no camera wants to look. You are not being paid to look important. At this level, being noticed is failure even when the mission succeeds. That burner phone, the metro card, and the paper coffee cup are all part of the disguise. At this level, you are paid to lose your face and keep your pattern forgettable. The difference between a clean handoff and an arrest is often one glance held too long. Your body is in public, but your day belongs to a clock you do not control. You leave the platform and follow the wall into darkness. You are still invisible. You are just becoming expensive. You enter the service corridor at 2:13 a.m. with latex gloves folded in your pocket and an RFID badge clone warm from your palm. You are not outside the machine anymore. You are inside its walls now. The encrypted laptop stays dark. Your lockpick roll sits flat against your spine. The server room window opens for exactly 7 seconds and never forgives hesitation. You wait through the janitor overlap window while the embassy annex elevator hums 3 floors above you. Your RFID badge clone touches the reader once. A second try would be the mistake that matters. A Faraday pouch holds the USB implant and a fiber optic camera no bigger than a thumbnail. An 18-minute cleaning shift gap is the whole mission. The service corridor light flickers. That 14-character password is useless without the contractor who writes it on a sticky note. Your brush pass with the night engineer looks accidental because routine always looks innocent when it belongs to someone else. You slide past the rooftop access door, cut into the 3rd floor server room, and angle the fiber optic camera under the vent before the air-gapped server fans rise in pitch. Behind a black privacy screen, your encrypted laptop opens. The USB implant disappears into a port hidden beneath cable shadow. Latex gloves squeak once on painted steel, a sound that feels louder than an alarm. Your lockpick roll never hits the floor, the RFID timing never drifts, and the Faraday pouch swallows the cloned badge the instant the door closes. Your 0340 backup extraction route leads through the service corridor, down the embassy annex stairwell, and out to rain that nobody will remember by morning. You are not breaking into buildings. At this level, a door is not a door. It is a schedule, a badge, and a human habit. That air-gapped server only looks secure because most people trust walls more than routines. Here, technology is never the real target. Routine is. The difference between secure and insecure is often one contractor with the wrong shift, one RFID badge clone, and one 2:13 a.m. access slot. You leave with data, but what you really stole was somebody else's complacency. You step into a black elevator with your jacket sleeve still hiding the wire marks from the cuff. You stop entering rooms to take secrets. You start entering lives to grow them. You enter the hotel bar with an embassy invitation card in your pocket, a fake passport in a leather wallet, and a short glass whiskey you never planned to drink. The room is softer than a server floor and more dangerous for exactly that reason. Your hotel key card says room 614. The diplomatic cover says trade delegation. The real work begins when somebody believes the easier story. Real power begins when they want to keep believing it. You sit under warm lamps and let the station chief's 6:04 a.m. brief replay in your head, while the asset across from you pretends this is only a late dinner. On the table in front of you sits an untouched whiskey, a folded embassy invitation card, and one question you have been building for 3 months. The fake passport supports the legend. Your diplomatic cover explains the flights. A single missed call tells you surveillance moved east on the old city side street. The station chief wants leverage, not drama. The asset wants dignity, not rescue. You learn the Sunday family lunch pattern before you ever mention money. That room 614 meeting lasts 40 minutes, because longer than that feels rehearsed. The first cash envelope is only $5,000, held by a paperclip, so it looks temporary and therefore deniable. Your encrypted satellite phone stays off until the hotel keycard locks behind you. The embassy resident smiles at you in daylight. The private dining room tells you who sits closest to the minister and who never gets invited twice. This asset is not seduced by ideology. They are moved by humiliation, debt, loneliness, and the need to matter to someone who sounds certain. Your legend protects your name. Your questions expose theirs. You are no longer reading faces for emotion. At this level, people are not approached when they are weak. They are approached when they are lonely. The fake passport and diplomatic cover are only bridges toward the real target, permission inside room 614. At this level, trust and leverage are two different words for the same bridge. The difference between friendship and recruitment is the moment that $5,000 cash envelope enters the hotel bar and nobody looks at your embassy invitation card again. The station chief calls it asset validation. Your legend calls it a private favor between useful adults. You stop asking who a person is. You start asking what opening they cannot afford to close. You leave the hotel bar and walk into a windowless corridor where nobody raises their voice. You stop moving human beings by hand. You start moving maps, budgets, and consequences. You open the classified morning brief at 6:04 a.m. in a 7th floor office where the carpet swallows every footstep. You spent years trying to reach a room this quiet. Now you understand the quiet is there, so nothing human can survive inside it for long. The encrypted phone has no contacts saved. The Chief of Staff's summary sheet is already marked. This first quiet is the most expensive quiet in the building. You move through the windowless conference room, the secure motorcade route update, and the pre-dawn secure call without touching a single field report twice. The presidential brief reduces more than a dozen active stations into one page of verbs and risk. Your compartmented access keeps names separate from outcomes until those names become inconvenient to know. The risk matrix places an old city side street beside a multi-country escalation grid as if both can be weighed by the same hand. The encrypted phone lights once, then goes dark. That summary sheet tells you where the failures might arrive first. The decision window is measured in minutes and does not expand because the stakes do. You sign around a covert budget line with a black fountain pen while the secure conference table map display updates station traffic from 3 continents. The first authorization needs 2 signatures. The second call only needs yours. That 7th floor corridor silence feels designed because it is. The presidential brief strips grief out of language. A covert action finding turns a human network into a manageable problem set. Stations across multiple countries each believe their emergency should rise to the top. The multi-country risk matrix insists that consequence can be ranked before it is felt. Your executive residence study waits for midnight review even when the day was decided before breakfast. The map display glows brighter than the names beneath it. You are closer to power than you are to truth. At this level, information is not knowledge, it is triage under time pressure. Your mat folder and summary sheet remove distance from the decision, but not from the damage across those stations. Here, distance and responsibility are two different things. The difference between strategy and guilt is often whether the consequences have names or only sit on a risk matrix before the 6:04 a.m. brief. The covert action finding and your decision window measured in minutes do not make the choice cleaner. You no longer touch the operation, but every failure still arrives in your chair. You wanted the top floor because it looked like control. You get the top floor and learn it feels more like custody. You began with a paper coffee cup on a subway platform and the fear of being seen. You end with a mat folder in a room with no windows and the power to decide who gets seen next. You thought every higher level would make you freer. You were wrong. The lower floors used your hours. The middle floors used your nerve. The top floor uses your ability to turn names into patterns, patterns into risk, and risk into acceptable loss. You climbed high enough to direct the machine. You climbed high enough to become it. You still make the call, but you no longer hear a human life as anything other than a line in the morning brief.